Yo, what's good, everybody? Thank you for joining me on another episode of Knowledge, brought to you by The Watcher. Alright, so today, just gonna do a real quick one. It's Sunday. Yeah, not feeling it really. But, maybe this one will crack the internet code. Nikola Tesla. His theory, or his 369. Not too many. Well, I don't know. I don't know if I've got it. I like to think I've come up with it, right? Because everybody else just says 369, and they start doing all this weird math stuff. It's like, oh, the ratio, the golden ratio, and blah 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 blah, and all this and that, and pi this and phi that, and phi phi and fo fum, and fucking, this is the riddle of the dumbest man, or whatever. I don't know. But I firmly believe in asking with intent. I've been saying this throughout all my videos. I asked because I want to know. I like to know things. So I asked with intent, what do you mean by 369? And I was told periodic table. Whoa, yeah. I was like, dude, I forgot about the periodic table. So I went out and looked up element 3, element 6, and element 9. Put them together, and I was like, what? Anyone watching this video, Google elements, lithium, carbon, fluorine. Apparently that makes those three elements put together create a super dry cell battery. It's hard to explain it. I don't got the internet in front of me or nothing. I'm sitting in my garage, chilling like a villain, fucking kicking back. I'm pretty sure that's it, because Nikola Tesla was all about power, sharing power. 369, it's the recipe for a battery. And it's a dry cell battery, and the battery lasts in storage for like basically ever. They're used in military, they're used in space, like space programs. Look into it, folks. Might be something that I cracked. I don't know. The other one I was working on yesterday was the alphabet and number correlation of 369. So 3 is C, 6 is F, and 9 is I. So that C is carbon, F is iron, and I is iodine on the element table. That's a really interesting one, because if you put carbon and iron together, you come up with cementite, a really strong substance. And then if you were to put iodine over that, you could, well, not just over that. There's layers you'd put in there. But I do believe that eventually you could come up with sort of a cloaking material, because iodine is used in the polarization of LED screens, LCD screens, right? So it's used in imagery. anyways, that was just something I divulging in. It's like, wow, this is interesting. Basically what I do, I just throw a bunch of different recipes of elements at Google and see what comes back. Sometimes it's interesting. Well, most of the time it's interesting. For me, everything is interesting because it's all new to me. Right? Like, ooh, 369. Yeah, I heard that all the time. I got a couple books on Tesla. I'm a huge book fan. Books for me are like, ooh, book. What's this about? Right? It's full of knowledge. But yeah. I think that's going to be probably about it. I don't know what else to really talk about. Like I said, it's Sunday. I'm not really into it. I just got up for my old man nap. It's like late in the evening. Whoops, slept a little too late. Have some dinner, go eat some dinner, go walk the dogs. And, yeah, I'll probably go back to bed. Because, yeah, Sunday. Put the garbage out, recycling, and crash. Tomorrow's another brand new week. Yippee skippy. But, yeah. We're going to talk about some pretty interesting things here in the future. I got, the stuff I learned about the pyramids and all the Ankh and the wasps and the Jed and their necklace and the tail they have or had. Yeah, pretty interesting when you look at all the pictures and stuff from back then. And Google Maps is cool because you can go to Google Maps, you go to Cairo, you can look over the Giza plateau, and you can get an understanding basically of their layout, right? You can draw it down in measurements and all that stuff, and there's a whole bunch of different stuff you can figure out, like the Sphinx. Oh, that's an interesting one, the Sphinx, right? They said it used to be a lion, a big lion. So, lion is short for lithium ion. And if you look at how lithium ion is created, you just need to mine lithium, and then basically, my understanding is you urinate on the lithium, and I might be really stupid when I say this. I gotta research it more, but lithium ion, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what the Sphinx was for, because the buildings or the structures that were in front of the Sphinx, they were processing plants, we'll call them. The one directly in front of the Sphinx was a processing plant. The Valley Temple of Khufu, or Khafre, that was a power station that stepped up the power that the Sphinx created. Because what the Sphinx did was it generated electrical current, and it put the current into the paws, and then it created a perpetual motion device out of the paws, which is basically an electrical field, a current that is there. We can't see it, but anything magnetic, ferromagnetic, will interact with it. So if your current is flowing, then anything that's ferromagnetic will start to move. So what they did in the building in front of the Sphinx was basically made a bunch of rolling presses, heat forges, all kinds of stuff that you could use off of eddy currents, right? Eddy currents are what heat things. Eddy currents are what move things. So we're going to get into talking about that pretty soon, because you'd be amazed to know how easy it is to make gold from what's that? Gold from mercury. That's apparently a really easy process, and to acquire mercury is also an easy process, easier than one would think, actually, which is really just mind-blowing, because all you need to do really is get the mineral, the crystal cinnabar, and then you apply pressure, you squeeze, you crush the cinnabar, and you add vinegar to the process, and out comes mercury. It just flows out, apparently. I haven't seen it done, but this is what I've read. And if that's the case, well, look up what Sphinx means. And to go back to what I just said about what you need to do to cinnabar. Okay? Right? So if the Sphinx was generating electrical current and it was being utilized in the building in front of the Sphinx to crush minerals and extract other minerals, byproducts from that process, then that's pretty cool. If you've ever studied the Giza Plateau, you'll see that the Sphinx sits in a pit. And the pit has a high point and a low point. The high point is in front of the paws to what would be, if you were sitting on the Sphinx looking at the building, the left hand paw of the Sphinx is the high point. And that's where the liquids flow from the building. They come out that side and they go down around behind the Sphinx, and then they pool up on the right side of the Sphinx. And right there is the Valley Temple of Khufu or Khafre, whatever it is. I'm stupid. That Valley Temple has a causeway. The causeway is a tunnel. I believe that causeway was utilized at one point to transport liquid up to the pyramid of Khafre and transmutate whatever liquid into a solid. Right? For instance, mercury turns into gold when you strip a neuron off of it, and that can take place in the chamber below the pyramid in the sarcophagi, because you need a pressure pot basically to do this in. So you run your mercury through the causeway, because that's electromagnetohydrodynamic. I can't remember the full name, but it's basically a pump with no moving parts. It just uses electromagnetic current and magnets. So you can just turn this device on and it pumps fluid. So you can pump gas with it. You can pump water with it. You can pump liquid metals with it. Anything you want. It's liquid. You can pump with this device. So you could make liquids in the building in front of the Sphinx with the powers from the Sphinx, the lithium power. And then whatever liquids you're making can pump it up into the pyramid and transmutate into precious golds, precious elements. It's wild. You can also do Frankenstein stuff up there and like transmutate human DNA and stuff, right? It's all crazy stuff, man. And this isn't anything I've discovered in any books that I've read about the pyramids. This is stuff that I've, like I said, you ask with intent. All the information we've ever wanted to know is around us. It's in us. You just need to ask with intent, and you will be given the answers. I promise you, this is no joke. I know I sound crazy to some people, but those people, whatever, I sound crazy to you. That's perfectly fine with me, honestly. To other people, I sound perfectly normal, and I know what I'm talking about. So those people are the people that matter to me, and yeah, it's. I can't say it enough that when you ask with intent, you will be given the answers. That's why I've bought a lot of books about the pyramids over the last couple of years, because I'm trying to find my answers in these books to correlate them, and they're few and far between. Like, some people are they're on the edge of knowledge, right? So maybe they had it and they were told, well, if you want to publish your book, you got to take this out of there. I don't know, right? We're going to see what happens when I start putting up my videos, disclosing my thoughts on these ancient secrets. Because if you look at the distance from the Sphinx to the Khafre pyramid, you'll see that it has the same kind of distance between a radio tower and the radio tower's power station. That's another thing they were doing with the Pyramid of Khafre, was transmitting signals, like a Schumann resonator. Right? So, yeah, it's crazy. It's literally mind-blowing, everything that they were doing back then. And it's being not necessarily held from us, but we aren't being told about it. Right? Like, all wireless technology existed back then. Like, they had power. I'm going to prove it to every one of you. I just did. Hey, because 369, those elements existed all back then, right? And they made a device that they would carry around with them that lit up, and it provided power for everything else, many other devices. Anyways, we're gonna get into that later. I didn't even want to really do a video tonight, and I'm busting out 20 minutes of film here. So remember, be well, be blessed, and love to all is the answer that's best. Right? So keep doing great things, everyone. And if you can't do great things, do small things in great ways. Because we all know in the end it pays. And stand up for what's right. Because if you're not standing up for what's right, then you're wrong. Nobody wants to be wrong. Love y'all. Till next time. Thanks for being with me. Like and subscribe. I keep forgetting to say that on my other videos. It's like something you gotta do with YouTube, I guess, right? Woo! Anyways, till next time. Take it easy, everybody.